Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. In the previous sessions, you have completed the first unit, that is reproduction. Now, the second unit is genetics. This unit has 3 lessons. It is very important as far as your exam is concerned. Total weightage for this unit is of 18 marks. The first lesson of this unit is principles of inheritance and variation. So today let us study what is inheritance and variation. The term inheritance refers to the characters that are passed on from one generation to another generation. So the term refers to transfer of characters from parent to their progeny, and this is the basis of heredity. And the term variation refers to the degree by which the progeny differ from their parents. For example, if you take the sibling population, brother sister population of our own house, there you can see we are different. We are not identical to our parents. We have similarities to our parents. So the term variation refers to the degree by which the progeny is different from their parents. That is what is called as hereditary or inheritance and variation. Now let us move on to the history part. So the main source of variation is of sexual reproduction, because in sexual reproduction always gametic fusion occur. So this leads to genetic variation. So if you are seeing the wild plant or wild animal, they have certain unique type of genes. For example, if you say take a wild plant, they have a gene for disease resistance to withstand abiotic stress. So we human beings are exploiting these variations that are naturally present in the wild population. Got the meaning of it? Wild plants and wild animals are naturally having certain genes that have disease resistant capacity, that is resistant to abiotic stress. We human beings are exploiting the variations that are naturally occurring in a wild plant or animal, and then we are doing hybridization and selecting the best variant. So by means of artificial selection and domestication from ancestral wild cow, we have obtained Sahiwal, a cow namely Sahiwal. Now the study of genetics was started. The study of genetics was started by a scientist, John Gregor Mendel. He is considered to be the father of genetics, and he conducted several experiments on a particular plant called as garden pea plant, or it is called as Pisum sativum. The first person, John Gregor Mendel, he is the father of genetics. He conducted several experiments in a particular plant. The name of a plant is of garden pea plant. Its scientific name is Pisum sativum. So what are the specialities of Mendel's approach in genetics? The first main factor for the success of his study is of his experiments has got a large sampling size. Got the meaning of sampling size? He has not done his experiment only on one plant. He has taken hundreds and thousands of plants to study the pattern of inheritance. So his experiment had a large sampling size, and apart from that he analyzed the data with the help of statistics and mathematical logic. So he has not done only experiment, he analyzed data by using mathematical logic, and he has drawn the conclusions or inferences by repeating his experiments several generations in a plant. He has not come to a conclusion only in one generation. He conducted the experiments for successive generation, and then he has drawn the conclusion. And then whenever he has taken, he investigated or he has taken contrasting pair of character. For example, if you take a character or a trait as a height, then he has taken both tall as well as dwarf. Contrasting pairs of character he has taken. So what is the speciality of his approach? One is large sampling size. Second is using mathematics and statistical analysis to analyze his data, and he has come to a conclusion by repeating his experiments in successive generations, and then he investigated contrasting pairs of character. That is the speciality of his approach. Now, why Mendel has selected? There are several plants are available, but he has selected pea plant. Scientific name, what is the scientific name? It is called Pisum sativum. Why he selected this plant? First, why he used this plant? One reason is it is an annual plant. Annual plant means the plant complete its life cycle within 1 year. So he can get the results within 1 year. So first reason is he selected Pisum sativum plant because it is an annual plant. It completes its life cycle within 1 year so that he can get the results quickly. Second one, this particular plant has many pairs of contrasting character. I told you character is a height. Some plants are tall, some are dwarf. This is called as contrasting pair of character. This plant has many contrasting pairs of character, and then it is a self-pollinating plant. But what is also possible? Cross-pollination is also possible in this plant by means of emasculation. You have already studied in your first unit what is emasculation. It is the removal of anther before the plant mature. That is what is called as emasculation. Actually the plant is self-pollinating, but what is also possible? Cross-pollination is also possible by means of a technique called as emasculation. And this plant can be grown under any type of climatic condition. That is why Mendel has selected this particular plant. Why he selected? First reason is it is an annual plant. Second one, it has many pairs of contrasting character. Third is it is a self-pollinating plant, but cross-pollination is also possible through emasculation. It can be grown under any type of climatic condition. So he has selected Pisum sativum plant for his experimental purpose. And in this plant, he has taken 7 pairs of characters for his study. So what are all the characters he has taken? So let us take one by one. First one is the height of a plant. He has taken the height of a plant. In this, tall is considered to be a dominant character and dwarf or short is a recessive character. Second one, if you take the color of a flower. So if you are taking the color of a flower, violet or purple is considered to be dominant, white is considered to be a recessive character. Then he has taken position of flower. So here, if the bud is present in the axil, that is called a axil bud or axil flower. If it is present at the tip region, it is called a terminal flower. So axil flower is a dominant character. Terminal flower is a recessive character. Then he has taken the shape of a seed. So if you see the shape of a seed, round is considered to be a dominant character. Wrinkled, can you see here? The surface of the seed has a certain construction. This is called a wrinkled seed. Round is dominant, wrinkled is recessive. Now color of the seed. Yellow is dominant, green is recessive. Then comes color of a pod. Pod means here it is a type of fruit. So in the type of fruit or the color of the pod, if you take, green is dominant, yellow is recessive. And shape of the pod, inflated or full is dominant, constricted is of recessive. So how many pairs of character he has selected? He has selected 7 pairs of character. First one is of a height. If you take a height, tall is dominant, dwarf is recessive. Second one is the color of the flower. Purple or violet is dominant, white is of recessive. Position of the flower. Axile flower is dominant, whereas terminal flower is recessive. Then comes to shape of the seed. Round is dominant, wrinkled is of recessive. Color of the seed. Yellow is dominant, green is recessive. And color of the pod, if you take, green is dominant, yellow is of recessive. And then shape of the pod, inflated or full is dominant, whereas constricted is of recessive. So these are the 7 pairs of characters Mendel has taken for his experiment. Now there are certain terminologies. Let us learn first. First term is of gene. What is a gene? What is gene? What will tell? Gene is located on the chromosome, you will tell. But what is gene? It is the unit of inheritance. Characters are inherited only with the help of gene. So gene is the unit of inheritance. Second term is of alleles. Genes which code for a pair of contrasting trait. So every character is controlled by a gene. So for example, height. Height, how many types are there? One is tall, other one is dwarf. So this is a contrasting pair. This pair is being controlled by a gene. So genes which code for a pair of contrasting trait is called allele. Got the meaning of it? Gene that codes for a pair of contrasting character is called allele. Character is the other term for trait. So which trait we have taken? Height you have taken. Height is a character or a trait. How many alternative forms are there? One is tall, other one is dwarf. So the gene which codes for a pair of contrasting trait is called allele. Third term is of phenotype. Phenotype is the external appearance of a character. What is phenotype? It is the external appearance of a character. Tall or dwarf, axial, terminal, violet or white, all are which one? External appearance of a trait. That is called a phenotype. Now genotype is the genetic makeup of the phenotype. For expressing itself as tall, the organism is having certain gene. So genotype is the genetic makeup of an organism. Got the meaning of these terms? One is gene. Gene is nothing but unit of inheritance. Allele, gene which code for a pair of contrasting trait. Phenotype is the external appearance of a character. Genotype is the genetic makeup of an organism. Now phenotypic ratio. Ratio means here the correct proportion of phenotype in a population. Let us take your class as a population. We have near about 40 members, let us consider. Among them 35 are tall and 5 are short. That means phenotypic ratio means the proportion of the phenotype in a population. Got it? 35 is to 5. So likewise, genotypic ratio, the correct proportion of genotype in a population. This is clear. Ratio here we are finding out. Now next term is of homozygous. So what is a homozygous? So the term homozygous means, for example, we are diploid organism. Clear? We all are diploid organism. So in a diploid organism, each gene consists of two alleles are present. So in your 10th class you have studied tall. If you are taking, how will you represent? We will be writing either capital T, or we will be writing as capital T small t. So homozygous means when both the alleles of a gene are identical, the condition is called homozygous. So capital T or small t. Each gene has how many allele? 2 allele. Why 2? Because organism is diploid. So here when both the alleles of a gene are identical, it is called homozygous. Now next one is about heterozygous. When both the alleles of a gene are not identical, it is called heterozygous. Capital T, small t. That is called as which one? Heterozygous. Now dominance. What is dominance? The character that expresses itself in the first filial generation. The character that expresses itself in the first filial generation, is called dominant character. So for example, we are crossing a tall plant with a dwarf plant. Clear? In the F1 generation, if all the plants are tall, which is a dominant character? Tall is a dominant character. So dominance means the character that expresses itself in the first generation. Now next one is recessive character. The character that failed to express itself in the first generation. The character is not able to express itself in the first generation is called a recessive character. So when you are crossing tall plant with a dwarf plant, all F1 plants are tall. That means tall is dominant. So which character has not expressed? Dwarf has not expressed. So dwarf is a recessive character. Now next term is of a hybrid. What is a hybrid? Product of hybridization. Product of hybridization is called a hybrid. Next is about back cross. Back cross means the crossing the F1 organism with either of the parent. Crossing the F1 organism with either of the parent. For example, you have taken a tall plant crossed with dwarf one. So tall male parent, let us consider, that is parental generation. Dwarf is a female parent, that is also parental generation. Now F1 generation, we have got heterozygous tall. This F1 generation, again you are crossing with either of the parent, either with the tall parent or with the dwarf parent. That cross is called a back cross. Next is about the test cross. Test cross means crossing the F1 generation with the recessive parent. Crossing the F1 generation with which parent? With the recessive parent is called a test cross. So, but this test cross has got certain significance also. Test cross is having certain significance also. For example, a plant is given in your hand. We do not know whether the plant is of homozygous or heterozygous. Plant is tall, but we do not know whether it is a homozygous tall or heterozygous tall. That time we have to do which cross? We have to go for a test cross. So today you have studied what is inheritance, what is variation, the history of genetics, John Gregor Mendel, why he selected that particular plant, and certain terminologies you have studied. Go through up to this. If you have any doubt, you can clarify it through your WhatsApp group. Thank you.